So what's unique about this Florence? Looks like Venice.
That was 12 in Venice. Come get a scarf for your mother, my mom. 25.
One time discount, one time. My friends, what's up for you? We get paid. I do. Look at that one. He has to tie by the hair on his legs.
Basti.
Still speaking. Were you on vacation in Mississippi?
Actually, no, I work for it. Still on vacation. Where are you guys from? San Diego. Well, as I said, welcome to Florence and Leonardo Leather. Today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about leathercraft in Florence with an example of the Florentine jewelry box. I'm also, if you don't already know, Florence is extremely famous for our leather products, and anyone and everyone will try to sell you anything and everything, passing it off as leather. So we're going to go over a few ways you can tell whether something's leather. If you haven't already, I'm sure you guys run into some vendors or been in the market or something. I'm sure at some point you will. And there's a lot of tricks they'll try to do to get you to buy things. We'll go over some of those as well. And then you'll be free to shop around the store. So, we'll start with the Florentine jewelry box. Also, if you can't see, you can look right up in that mirror right up there. This is the Florentine jewelry box. It was originally made in 1533 for Catalina de' Medici, who was Lorenzo de' Medici's niece. We all familiar with the Medicis?
Yes.
Yes.
Stayed at their castle.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably almost every building you've seen today has been at one point or another owned by them. Catalina de' Medici was originally marrying Henry II. She was moving to France. And the Florentine craftsman wanted to leave her with something that would be reminiscent of Florence, hold all her jewelry, and also impress the French. I'll pass this around. And the original one was actually 8 times that size. Oh, yeah. So she had quite a lot of jewelry. Definitely. But the box is extremely complicated to make. I'm going to give you a very brief description. You can assume that there's a lot that I'm not telling you that also goes into the box. The craftsmen that make this are highly, highly trained. And about 70% of the actual work is left up to the craftsmen, or the other 30% are the factors like drying time and the things they don't have any control over. Although the most amount of time that is taken to make this box is actually attributed to the drying time, where all the actual skill is attributed to the master. So, first we start with a wooden mold like this. We are going to take then the thickest layer of leather, followed by the thinner layers. And we're going to take all of these and we are going to put them in water to make them more pliable. We're going to cut the thickest layer, the top, bottom, and sides. And we are going to attach the thickest layer to the wooden mold. We are going to then attach those with headless nails. We're going to take the thinner layers and cut those and wrap them around the thicker layer for the base. Once all the layers are on, we are going to put this whole piece near a source of heat. And what's going to happen is that the leather is going to shrink because it's wet. And it's going to shrink to the size of the wooden mold. It's also going to bond to itself. There is nothing but leather in this box. There is no glue, anything of the sorts other than leather. So what's actually holding it together is the wet bonding of the actual leather to itself. So, once it's dry, we're going to decorate it. We're going to use natural vegetable dyes like these, mix them with an alcohol solution, and paint them on just like paint. We're then going to use a paraffin wax and a tool like this. We're going to heat this tool up, and we're going to spread the wax over the box. Now this does a couple of things. This actually keeps in the actual color. It also waterproofs the box and keeps it from scratching, but it also gives the box the sheen as well. So, after the wax is on, we're going to decorate the box with 22.8 karat gold. Now this is the only process in 500 years of making this box that has changed. As you can see, this gold leaf is crumbling. This is exactly why that is not used anymore. It was too wasteful, and the amount of work that it took to get back to the actual state of gold leaf was just too time-consuming and added even more time to the making of this box. So we do not use gold leaf anymore. Now I'll pass this around. I also want it back up here. Please. Today, we use a modern-day gold leaf. This is still 22.8 karat, but it is in a powder form on one side. As well, on the other side, it is a plastic film. Essentially what we do, as you can see here, there's initials on here, and then you can see there's a gold rim around the edge as well. What we will do is we will put this over the location that we want the design. This just happens to be a design. We will heat this tool up and press it over the gold. Now, this is cowhide. It is a hot tool. You are essentially branding the actual cowhide. So, but you are putting the gold on it as well. So, once the gold is on, we are going to cut the box. We're going to take a knife like this, and what we will do is we will start from one side, cut one side, the front and the other side. As I had said before, there is nothing but leather in this box. The natural hinge of this box is the leather. It is not wood, not metal, cardboard, nothing but leather. So that's why we do not cut the back. Also, as you will notice in the box, the base layer forms the actual lip of the box. You cannot cut through it. So when you cut through the thinner layers, you actually know the natural stopping point when you hit that thicker layer because you will not cut through it. So it serves as the base, but also as the actual lip of the box. Now, that's a very simplified version, and as you can assume that basically when the leather shrinks, it doesn't just completely, saran shrink wrap to the actual leather. So there's a lot of working that the master has to do to get it to that actual size. A box of that size takes around 6 weeks to make, where something like this takes 2 to 3. So you can imagine the original box, 8 times that size, the amount of time that would take to dry in the whole entire finishing process. So, great things about this box. Number 1, it's an amazing piece of art. Number 2, you cannot duplicate it any other way except with 100% genuine leather. Nothing will shrink the way leather will, and you will not get the actual desired effect any other way except with leather. Unfortunately, that's not the case for everything in Florence. Everyone tries to use everything but leather to try to sell you their actual objects known as leather. So, there's about 4 good ways you can tell whether something's leather. Anybody have any good ideas? Don't say taste. Smell, yes. Fire, yep, flame test. Yep, the feel, not necessarily the scratching. There's also the label as well. So, first, with the smell. You get the nice new pair of shoes, or, the new car, it smells great, or maybe the leather pants. If you're into that, that's cool. It's not my thing. Going to the shop, you go to the shop, it smells great. It's all a lie. Leather does not smell. What we know to smell like leather is actually a chemical that's used during the drying and tanning process. Leather itself has no smell at all. So, what you are smelling is the chemicals. So it's kind of like, I always equate it to strawberry. If you actually take a strawberry and then take like strawberry yogurt or something like that, a real strawberry smells nothing what we think strawberry actually smells like. So it's a man-made fabrication. So don't let anybody ever try to sell you something saying, oh, see, you know, it smells like actual leather. Because it could be plastic, vinyl, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It could just be sprayed to smell like leather. So, the flame test. You guys might want to move back a little. No. So, they do this all the time in the market. They say that leather does not burn. So what they will do is they will take a lighter and slowly go up and down the jacket, not actually holding it in a single spot, but just going up and down saying, see, you know, it's not actually plastic, it's real leather. Because plastic would burn, real leather wouldn't burn. Now, if you actually thought about this for a second, you would think, okay, well, leather is cowhide, I would assume cows would burn. And then you think, okay, what else is hide that burns as well? Oh yeah, us. You know, so if we burn, you'd think cows would burn as well. You know, you take a lighter, go up and down your arm, not holding it in a single spot, probably going to lose some hair here and there. You know, it's going to be really hot, but not actually holding it in a single spot, you're not going to actually burn. Hold it in a single spot, you will burn, and so will a cow. So, if you look at this jacket, we have held a flame in single spots, and you can see quite clearly that leather does indeed burn. So if anybody ever tells you leather does not burn, they are completely lying to you. Now, the label. This is extremely tricky. I'll leave it up to the Italians for this one. Okay. It is not compulsory in Italy to actually label your leather products. If you label your leather products, the label physically has to be on a piece of 100% genuine leather. If the label is physically on a piece of 100% genuine leather, then you can guarantee that that jacket is 100% leather when only by law it has to be 55% genuine leather. So, if you look at this jacket, and you look at the label, and you look at this little serrated blue thing behind this label, that little piece is a piece of 100% genuine leather. So this label is technically on a piece of 100% genuine leather. It's not even attached to the jacket. The label is actually attached to the leather. So technically, yes, it is 100% genuine leather. But then the rest of the jacket only has to be 55%. Does everybody get that? No? Yes? It's a loophole in the law. Because the label is attached to the 100% piece of leather, they can say it's 100% leather, when in fact the jacket only has to be 55. Okay? So, on this jacket, you will see that the label is directly attached to the lining of the jacket. There's no piece of leather behind the actual label. By law, this jacket has to be 100% genuine leather. Everybody see the difference between the two?
But the lining.
Okay, best way to tell whether something is leather. This is genuine leather. On the back is suede. On the back of all genuine leather, you will find suede. Suede can be reproduced. It is not very cost efficient. There's really no point in reproducing suede. So if you can find suede anywhere on the jacket, you can be guaranteed at least that piece is actually genuine leather. Now, obviously you can't be going around setting everything ablaze and tearing up the lining of the jackets to see whether it's actually leather or not. So the best way, a lot of button-down jackets, you can't completely sew shut the buttonholes. If you can find in there. Sometimes there'll be a break in the lining somewhere in the stitching. A lot of times in the pockets. If you can find in the pocket, there's a little hole and you can find in there. Suede, you can be guaranteed at least that piece is actually genuine leather. Now, what they will do is, obviously, there's another percentage of the 55 you gotta fill with something. They most likely will use vinyl. This top piece right here is vinyl. These two are actually genuine leather. Vinyl is plastic. And the professionals, just this top light one right there, professionals can make it touch, smell, and look exactly like leather. So you can be buying the base of your jacket, which will be genuine leather, and then vinyl sleeves, and you will never know the difference when you are buying it. But then, down the line, because vinyl is plastic, it cracks. If you've ever had a jacket or a belt or wallet or something, bag over the years, you know, that actually is cracking, that is not genuine leather. Genuine leather does not crack. And genuine leather will last you years and years and generations. Also, something called split hide. This is split hide. It is genuine leather. It's the topmost layer of genuine leather. It's extremely poor quality, and it tears so easily that there is actually a kind of webbing on the back to hold it together. And what they will do is they will take a piece of cardboard, 2 pieces of split hide, and put that in a belt. And they'll claim it as 100% genuine leather, when in fact it basically is. But if, maybe you're into ripping your bags apart and tearing your belts, that's fine. But you can be paying the same amount for that as you will for a full, thick, 100% piece of genuine leather. Also, you should be getting guarantees with your jackets. We guarantee all the jackets, and they will not guarantee the jackets in the market because, when you have a problem, you go back the next day. They don't even have to be in the same location, and there's a reason for that. So, any questions on leather in Florence, or the Florentine jewelry box?
How much?
How much does good leather cost?
Good leather, depends on what it is. If you can find a jacket, a real 100% leather jacket's going to run you between $250 and $600, depending on what type of leather it is, how large the jacket is, that kind of thing. If there's a €900 jacket and you talk them down to €100, it's definitely not a 100% genuine jacket. They'll try to give you discounts for everything. You see the signs, discounts for nice people. That's great, you're a nice person, but we're not going to give you discounts for that. So,
You nice those colors when you put them on. I give it to you. Much they change.
I'm not really sure. I know that there's a lot more that's, they are natural. It's a vegetable diet plus other, parts of it that are natural. That aren't going to, eat at the actual leather. But, we have bags that are this color. Yeah. So, it really just depends on what actual leather is. Anything else?
How much is that box?
That box, that's going to be over 700. Yeah.
And the small one?
The small one, this one's going to run you around 440. And it's basically, it's a handmade, it's genuine leather, and a lot of people kind of, they look at the prices and they're just like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive, but what you've been looking at isn't actually real. So, you'd be going in the market and you'd be like, well, I just saw it in the market for €10. You're seeing the vinyl version where we're actually selling the actual genuine leather version. So, teeny tiny boxes, we have some for, I think they'll always start to like 32. Also, as the group, you guys get 10% off in the shop. Also, if you buy an item over €10, we can engrave your initials, up to 3 initials, in gold or just stamped in for free. Doesn't necessarily have to be a box either. Just something that we can actually engrave that's over €10. Also, if you'll bear with me for one more second, we're going to go in the gold and silver department and I'll explain how the tax refund works.
The dome of the Cathedral of Florence. House of Dante. Go long. Yeah, really. It's too long.
This could be like the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Lots of places to eat.
He can get now to go with 2 pieces. He's leaving us behind.
What?
Volleyball was shot.
Vorrei un po', comincia a volerci flash perché siamo in punto luce. Devo buttare. Te le faccio.
Michelangelo. Buono rock.
See what they have.
Use a jet ski.
Look at that pretty water.
Oh yeah. It's jumping right now.
I want to go swim. Yeah, it's over there. It's so lush. It's so green.
Yeah, look at the view from the San Michael's.
Oh, that's
Let's go. Look at the Duomo.
And we walked all of us.
The monastery.
I saw a monk yesterday. The friar. Using his brown robe.
Did he give you a funny look?
No, but he like running.
Now you can see it well.
Okay.
What a beauty.
Vatican Soldiers Cemetery. Raider Nation. I don't read Italian. Nice. Oh, please. Paul.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's recorded.
That's the only thing I can do. Try to be heard. Try to be understood and heard. That okay? Is there are many things that we can talk about.
Where we're gonna have to walk.
Where are we going to walk?
All around.
Where are we supposed to meet?
I think the outlets are behind that tower. Well, I'm wondering, is this guy in this hotel, is he gay?
Well, he's a rainbow colors. With a little Italian to it.
They're talking about shopping again. They can't get away from shopping. Even at a little souvenir store.
Come on, get a move on. You're slowing us up. Rolex. This is not the square.
Allora, vuole a Piazza
Guardate quando viene il favore
Pigeons should migrate in here. There's a whole bunch of room here.
Voleva fare la stessa settimana qua.
Oh, you're taking this door. It's pretty.
Right now you can see, you can look or see.
really good.
I asked whether there was any musician or great musician that didn't have a well, it depends on where they come from. I want to go down here. I've never been to the house. Now we go to also sending some of the
Where are you guys?
and so on. They were also this kind of merchants. I mean, Indians and see other people always have like children.
Where are you guys?
Merchants sold. Oh, because it's flavor. The women from Eastern Europe are taking care of old people.
I know. Which store are you at? Making money on human on waste.
It's weird. It makes me sick. You know what I hate? But you know what's weird about it?
Is this worth it?
That one right there wasn't.
Where's the backpack?
Hey, look at what I stole.
Molotov cocktail. Spit.
There you go. What?
Oops.
Y después entramos nosotros y también nos dejamos salir.
50
Salimos igualmente.
Un romano ha vinto un
No, due.
So bello.
voy a acabar el reloj.
Oh.
Amazing, isn't it?
I don't know the Liberty Bell was on there.
Is it made of marble too? It is, huh? Wow.
When did they bring the Liberty Bell on top of it?
That's just new. They just brought that in last weekend. But I don't know what that red flag is.
It's the flag of Pisa.
City flag. Put that cage and stuff in there.
Well, they did have some guy wires.
Ah, écoute, parce que chaque fois,
Ci vogliono i biglietti, sono a
what did you say? Secret? Huh? Where's my bags?
Yep, right now.
If I go straight that way, I will see it. No, that's all right. Okay, I'll do it.
Good. Assisi. Benedictivi Dominus, Sanata Civitas Deo, Fidelis, Quea per whatever.
You speak Latin, right?
Look at those street vendors. Nobody from Senegal here?
Mark G!
Oh!
Yeah, hi! Mark G! Nasty.
Yeah, Chris, yeah! It's Catholic.
There's another.
wide. Car's coming. This way. You missed the spot. Oh, Mariner! Come on, grab your left one. Yes, grab it.
How do you zoom in?
Squeeze it.
Squeeze left.
Her left. Venus is squeezing her left one. Come on, box it.
Go, go, go! You can do it! No, turn around, twirl! Is there more?
Box!
Look, turn
That's
around!
it!
Woo! Woo! Go like this!
Go down the sides.
Just like this.
It's like the biggest thing.
Mom, I got Anthony here. It's not like I got mine. I got
Padre! 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 Take a picture with St. Francis. Picture, picture! No, with him! Walk with him! Walk with him.
Okay, no phone calls.
Says no, it's not titled margarita. It's a nice restaurant.
Achoo. Oh, right from the salad. More.
Now we're talking.
Bravo. Last one there.
Stavo da ste parti.
To the square. I thought that was awesome.
Hey, what's your next one over?
Why do you say we're all? Because I was talking to him. In my house.
I want some slapping going on. Come on.
Don't look, you guys.
Oh my goodness.
Very simple.
Where's the kid?
can still see the mosaics on the floor.
Wow. Jeez. I got the bar in the way.
This is what I mean when people basically lives on ruins. You see the houses behind the Roman Forum.
Wow. That is amazing.
Again, the Piazza della Repubblica, this is a big, what you see on the left-hand side is actually a monument. We will be around as well. But this is the square where Mussolini would give his speeches. From that, did not a lot of good to the country, but the truth is Italians have a good sense of humor, even if you put it on the front page, because they are afraid after you will put it on the back. So that is the only reason, and it's mainly in all the museums.
Vatican. Hey, prankster.
He's talking to you.
Hey, prankster. Yeah. Say I did it. Say I did it. What is it?
Buongiorno. It's not me. Go to sleep at 5. That's good, honey. She thought it was Ricky at first. Check Ricky. I was like, just in the morning, tip me on the sheet.
How'd you do it first?
Something fell on her. No, it's not true. I just think what
And the Castel San Angelo on the right-hand side.
There's a bus on the right.
Oh, look at the pretty bus. Oh my God.
Otras baterías tienen muchas baterías.
Fathead.
And the Vatican.
Vaticano.
We're actually here now.
We're in a different
So
country.
we're going straight to the Museum of the
Passport
Vatican,
checks.
which is behind all these monuments.
Ay, sachet. Still the video, baby.
Look, Mole Adriana. Mole Adriana.
Hey, Pope. Pope. You're wrong.
We are mile completely surrounded by walls. Inside this area, no, the walls are those that you saw downstairs. One very small points we see. Now, if you look at the very top, there is a cross. It's hard to see that there is a cross because we see it on the side, not from the front. Now, but the cross is supported by a golden globe. You see the golden globe? And inside that golden globe, there is a room for 12 people. 12 people can stay inside on that small sphere that supports the cross. We cannot see the main body of the church because it's hidden by the hill. Because there the hill finishing, and St. Peter is just built at the foot of the hill on the opposite side.
Small sculptures which were
I know. I'm banished from the Vatican
There are shades, but the shades are not real ones. Also the shades are painted, and it's mainly the shades that give us the illusion. We get an illusion. So no volume at all, no relief at all, painting on a flat surface that imitates a relief. For this reason we call this style three-dimensional, three-dimensional style, but it's a trick, it's not real. In the gallery you see tapestries. The reason because the gallery is so dark.
The Church of St. Peter.
The resurrection of Christ. So woven in the 1500s. Now they are 500 years old, these tapestries. You see very, very detailed how many little things that are represented on each of them, and all is woven, no painting on the surface. Look at this table. There is a clever optical illusion in this figure. Look at the table pointing to you, and look at the table that moves and follows you to the other side. You see how it turns around? Again, an optical illusion, due to the geometrical design. You see this? by the western areas of Italy. Every map, very, very detailed, includes all the cities, towns and villages. So very, very exact. And through the windows you see the gardens that we saw before when we stopped on the terrace. Now we are practically walking along that long building that was visible on the left, so that we have the gardens on the right. They print stamps, they have a newspaper. The army, little army of the Vatican is Swiss and not Italian, the Swiss guards, 140 guards, the guards of the Pope. And in all of this area you can see this is the old building that we are visiting, the Sistine Chapel, St. Peter, and here lives the Pope, just overlooking St. Peter's Square. The Sistine Chapel, we can see when it was built in 1470, just painted along the walls. And then after Michelangelo did his work, painting the ceiling and the back wall. So not all the paintings that are in the Sistine Chapel are Michelangelo. The Sistine Chapel was built by a pope called Sistus. Sistine means the Church of Sistus. In 1475, when the chapel was built, several artists decorated the walls with the story of Jesus and the story of Moses. By that time, Michelangelo was just born, a baby in his cradle. In 1508, at the age of 33, Michelangelo painted the ceiling. In 1535, at the age of 60, he painted the wall with the Last Judgment. Altogether, Michelangelo spent 10 years of his life working in the Sistine Chapel. Those times, he worked alone. Michelangelo never shared his work with another artist. He did everything by himself. You see, these are the walls, and now we see a moment more in detail, Michelangelo's ceiling. The very, very famous. The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel is the story of the Genesis, the most well-known book of the Bible, the Genesis, the story of the creation. We have 3 episodes that are showing the Lord. You see, separation of light and darkness, creation of the sun and the moon, separation of earth and water. So the Lord during the creation. In the very center of the ceiling, the famous episode of Adam and Eve. The creation of Adam, Eve, the original sin, and expulsion from paradise. And then 3 more paintings showing the story of the ark and the flood. The ark of Noah and the flood. Noah sacrificing a goat to the Lord to thank him for the salvation. And the last painting on top is Noah lying on the floor naked and drunken. It's called the drunkenness of Noah and represents the temptation. Michelangelo wanted to symbolize how strong is the temptation for men.
It was also good.
Smile.
Les rogamos que permanezcan en silencio. No.
Smile, smile, Aaron.
Might open it right out. You're gonna have to put that in the album. You took a good picture. Illegal.
I'm listening to my radio.
So the moral is don't piss off Michelangelo. You become a devil in disguise. Marissa, look at that spelling of Jeremiah, Jeremias. I like Ezekiel, the way it's spelled right there. It is C-H-I-E-L.
You're blocking.
There's no... Isn't that a neat spelling? I like that. It's C-H-I-E-L.
Alt det her, det er, altså det der.
And under that altar is the
very big ones. All the statues are 12 to 15, 16 feet tall. And can you see the inscription around? Can you see there are many, many letters on golden background? The size of the letter is 8 feet. Each letter, 8 feet tall. So everything is really big, much taller than any of you. The letters are much taller than a person. The statues are twice, 3, 4 times a person, really big ones. Now this church, remember, is the church dedicated to the Apostle Peter that died here and was buried here, and the church is built on top of his tomb. It's the largest church in the world. Now I am going to walk in front, and you follow me, and what we're going to do is to go up to the center on one side, and we come back on the other, so we walk in a circle. Now first of all, we're going to see you see the Virgin Mary has got a sash. On the sash of the Virgin is the signature of Michelangelo. Michelangelo wrote his name. This is the only statue that he ever signed in his life. He never again put a signature, and that's because this is the first famous statue of the artist. He was only 24. 24 years old. Michelangelo had already carved the Pietà that you see here in front.
Where's the signature?
Where did he put his name? On the sash of the Virgin. You see, the Virgin here has got a ribbon, a sash, and that's where it's written the name. It's not visible, we are too far. You can see it much better in photographs. So now we have to go on. So we'll be walking. With an eye on the umbrella. We are approaching now the main altar, so look at St. Peter's statue, take a picture if you like, and when you're ready, you can find me in front of the main altar.
Fun.
What do we need to touch? Oh, that's his tomb?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where you're supposed to.
Are in honor of Peter. But the tomb is so deep and small that it is impossible to get to it. This is why the lamps are burning day and night here in front of the altar. this dome, inside the church, under the dome, there would be space enough for a building of 24 floors. So you could construct right here in the place of the altar an apartment house of 24 floors. All this part of the church was projected by Michelangelo, who died at the age of 90 when he was still working in St. Peter. So much that the day before dying he was still in the church. Well, first of all, because of the tradition, because of the inscriptions, and then because they also found the bones that correspond to the date of his death. So we are just in front of the apse. You see there is a window in the center that is made of alabaster. With the image of the Holy Spirit, and under it you can see an enormous throne. On the throne the angels are holding the crown, the papal crown, and the keys. You see once again the keys of St. Peter, symbol of the papacy. The four statues that are on the sides of the throne, the doctors of the church, are 15 feet tall without considering the head. All the throne and the statues are made of bronze, gilded bronze, the same as the columns of the canopy, bronze and gold. And everything else, you see in the niches, the several monuments, these are other tombs. So everywhere you can see the tombs of the popes. Mass is celebrated here normally in the afternoon on Sundays. You can see the organs are on the sides for the Mass when it's sung and played. So we walk around the altar to the other side. Are the letters of the inscription respect to the people, So all mosaic, so even up there, constructing enormous scaffoldings, the artists of the Renaissance stuck little pieces of glass of different colors to shape the figures. So all mosaic, from the floor to the top, 360 feet. So practically 4 times the canopy that we see in front. Can we go up there? You see the altars all around. Altars are normally used. You see here in front, for example, the pews for the celebration of the